Ladies and gentlemen, friends, today is the day we face a truth that's too often ignored. The truth of your own value in the noise of daily life as we navigate hurdles, disappointments, and chaos. It becomes easy to forget the unwavering force within us, the power you carry simply by being you. Far too many of us move through the world believing we're not enough. We think we need to work harder, achieve more, or become someone else just to be worthy. But let me make this clear. You were already enough before the world ever told you otherwise. Your value is not dependent on titles, accomplishments, or possessions. It's rooted in your very existence. Today we're going to uncover that truth together. It's time you step forward with the certainty of your worth. Start by reflecting on your journey. Every challenge you've endured, every storm you've weathered, every moment where you doubted you could make it through. And yet here you are, still standing, still breathing. That's no accident. That's evidence of your strength. That resilience is not something random. It's you. It's the undeniable fire within you. This strength isn't just about skills or talents. It's deeper. It's your essence. Maybe it's your ability to persevere when the path is unclear. Maybe it's your kindness lifting others even when you're running on empty. Perhaps it's your ability to create beauty from pain, or your vision that sees what others overlook. Or maybe it's your courage to get back up again and again after being knocked down. That right there, that is power. No one can imitate your exact spirit. No one can take from you the gifts you hold. Life may test you, but as long as you recognize your strength, you remain unbreakable. Your uniqueness is not a limitation, it's your superpower. Everything you need to thrive is already inside you. Need proof? Look at someone like Oprah Winfrey. Her story isn't just about fame. It's a testament to transformation. She came from struggle, abuse, rejection, poverty, and yet she rose. What she once saw as weakness became her source of strength. Her hardships gave her the ability to relate, to uplift, to connect with others on a soul level. That's what made her powerful. She didn't let her story diminish her. She let it shape her. She took everything she'd been through and used it to build something beyond herself. And listen, she's not the only one capable of that. You are too. You carry that same kind of power. You may not have recognized it yet. You may still be searching, but it's there. It's waiting for you to claim it. Even when life knocks the wind out of you, even when you're looking in the mirror unsure of what you see, know this, your value doesn't disappear. It's never in question. It may be buried under pain or doubt, but it's still there. Your job is to uncover it, to trust it, to build from it. Now ask yourself, are you giving yourself credit for the strength it took to get here? Or are you still shrinking in the shadow of comparison, telling yourself you're not as deserving? Don't fall into that trap. You've earned your place in this world. You are more than worthy of the life you dream of. Your experiences, your struggles, your perspective, they are the foundation of your value. When you start embracing what makes you different, when you claim the qualities that set you apart, the world begins to notice, because what you see in yourself is what others will see in you. And it all starts with recognition. It starts with owning your worth. Each and every one of us carries battle scars. Some we wear on the outside, others we hide within. But here's what matters most. We're still here, and that alone is proof that we're equipped to keep going. So take a moment and reflect on everything you've overcome. Let those victories, big and small, remind you that you are not weak. You are resilient. Now let's be honest. How often do you compare your life to someone else's? It's become second nature in this digital age. We scroll through social media and see curated highlight reels, people flaunting the careers, the vacations, the relationships, and suddenly, we start to doubt ourselves. We feel behind, inadequate, less than. But let me be absolutely clear. Comparison is the thief of joy. It robs you of contentment, clarity, and confidence when you measure your worth against someone else's carefully filtered life. You lose sight of your own journey. You forget that what you're seeing is the destination, not the process. You're not seeing the long nights, the private tears, or the silent struggles. You're seeing the result, not the grind. That's why comparing your path to someone else's is unfair, because you're not comparing truth to truth. You're comparing their version of reality to your behind-the-scenes life, and that will never match. So instead of fixating on someone else's progress, anchor yourself in your own. Your journey is just as valid, just as rich, and just as worthy, no matter how different it looks. Think of someone like Michael Jordan. Most people know him as the greatest basketball player of all time, but what many forget is that he was cut from his high school team. Imagine that Michael Jordan rejected before he ever became a legend. If he had let that moment define him, we would have never witnessed his greatness, but he didn't. He focused on his growth. He didn't let someone else's opinion determine his worth. He just kept going. You may not become the next Michael Jordan, and that's okay, because you don't need to be. You need to become the best version of yourself. And that happens when you stop trying to measure your progress with someone else's ruler. Your path is your own. It won't look like theirs, and it's not supposed to. Stop asking, why not me? And start saying, I'm building something that's mine. Your value lies in your progress, your evolution, your determination, not in someone else's timeline, not in someone else's success. So think back to the last time you felt less than because someone else was ahead. Did that feeling help you grow, or did it just make you question everything you've worked for? It's time to break that pattern. It's time to celebrate your own milestones. Your story is unfolding exactly as it should. Remember, you are not behind. You are not failing. You are on your path. Keep walking it step by step, because every step you take is building a foundation for something powerful. You just have to keep showing up. And when you do, you'll realize something incredible. Your journey is enough. Let's talk about something that stops more dreams than failure ever could. The fear of failure itself. So many of us live in paralysis. Not because we've tried and failed, but because we're afraid to try at all. We convince ourselves that if we take the risk, we might fall. And if we fall, it means we're not enough. But here's the truth, that no one emphasizes enough failure doesn't define you. Your response to it does. Every time life knocks you down, you are handed a choice. Will you let it crush you, or will you use it to rise stronger? Failure isn't the end of your story. It's a plot twist, a turning point, a lesson in disguise. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you think they got there without stumbling, without rejection, without doors slammed in their faces? And take J.K. Rowling, for instance. Before Harry Potter enchanted the world, she was a single mom battling depression and living off welfare. Her manuscript was rejected multiple times. She was told it wasn't marketable, but she didn't give up. She didn't let the world's no define her worth. She kept believing in her story until one day someone said yes, and that yes changed everything. So let me ask you, how many times have you stopped just short of your breakthrough because you mistook failure for finality, because you didn't get the job, or the relationship ended, or the plan fell apart, and you assumed it meant you weren't good enough? But what if instead of seeing those moments as dead ends, you started seeing them as detours? What if you trusted that every failure is carving a new path towards something better? That every disappointment is rerouting you to where you were meant to go? You see, you don't grow when things go perfectly. You grow when you're tested, when things fall apart and you have to find your way again. You grow in the aftermath. That's where the power is, in the rebuilding, the rising, the refusing to stay down. Edison said, I haven't failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's the mindset, that's the shift. Failure isn't defeat, it's data. It's telling you what to tweak, what to refine, what to do differently next time. So stop fearing it, embrace it, let it sharpen you, let it humble you, let it teach you. Because the more you fail, the more unstoppable you become. Not because you never fall, but because nothing can keep you down. You are not broken, you are being built, and the masterpiece is created in the mess. Now let's talk about boundaries, one of the most important, yet most overlooked parts of owning your value. See, too many of us are drained, not because life is too hard, but because we're too available. We're constantly saying yes when we want to say no. We're overextending ourselves, sacrificing our peacetime and energy just to keep others comfortable. And somewhere in the process, we lose ourselves. But I need you to hear this: every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your values, you say no to yourself. And that's not selflessness, that's self-neglect. Setting boundaries isn't about building walls, it's about building doors and having the discernment to choose who gets access. You wouldn't let just anyone walk into your home. Why let them walk all over your soul? Boundaries are how you protect your time, your energy, and your worth. They are how you say, I matter too. And when you set them, not everyone will like it. Some will push back. Some will call you selfish, but the people who truly respect you will never be offended by your need to protect your peace. Think about Steve Jobs. One of the reasons he built something as revolutionary as Apple wasn't just his genius, it was his focus. He said no to distractions. He said no to mediocrity. He guarded his time and vision like it was sacred because it was. And yours is too. You are not obligated to set yourself on fire to keep others warm. You are not here to be everything for everyone. You are here to be true to yourself, and being true to yourself means sometimes disappointing others, so you don't disappoint yourselves. That's not arrogance, that's alignment. So start setting the standard, start honoring your yes, start meaning your no, because every time you respect your own boundaries, you teach the world how to treat you. And when you do that, your value becomes non-negotiable. Let's talk about investment specifically, investing in yourself. Because here's the truth, you are the most valuable asset you will ever own. Not your job, not your bank account, not your relationships, you. And just like any valuable asset, you require upkeep, care, and growth. Too often we pour our time and energy into everything and everyone else while neglecting the one thing that matters most, ourselves. But hear me, growth doesn't happen by accident. Confidence doesn't appear out of thin air. Mastery isn't gifted, it's earned. You have to build it. And that starts with you choosing every single day to show up for yourself. Read the books. Take the course. Learn the skill. Move your body. Fuel your mind. Nurture your soul. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, who see you, who stretch you. Every one of these actions is a deposit into your future self. A statement to the world. I know what I'm worth, and I'm acting like it. Look at the most successful people on the planet. Entrepreneurs, artists, athletes, they have this in common. They never stop investing in themselves because they understand the principle, value compounds. What you do for yourself today multiplies into what you become tomorrow. And that doesn't mean grinding every second of your life. It means being intentional, choosing progress over perfection, choosing learning over stagnation, choosing self-respect over people-pleasing. Because the energy you cultivate internally is what others eventually respond to. And here's the beautiful part, the more you invest in yourself, the less you need external validation. Because you won't need to chase opportunities, they'll start finding you. Why? Because people are drawn to those who are growing, who are aligned, who are quietly becoming the best version of themselves, not to impress the world, but to honor their own potential. So ask yourself right now, how are you showing up for yourself? Are you spending time growing or numbing? Are you surrounding yourself with inspiration or settling for comfort? The answer to those questions will tell you everything you need to know about your future. Because the version of you 5 years from now, they're counting on you. And every action you take today is either building or betraying that future. So don't wait. Don't wish. Don't wonder. Invest. Because you are the foundation of everything you dream about. And once you start living like that's true, your entire world begins to shift. Now let's get real about something most people avoid: boundaries. If you don't have boundaries, you don't have balance. If you don't have balance, you don't have peace. And without peace, you can't create, grow, or thrive. So let's make this simple. Boundaries are not about keeping people out. They're about keeping yourself intact. Too many people walk through life saying yes out of guilt, obligation, or fear of being disliked. But here's the truth. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you're saying no to something that fuels you. You're telling the world that your energy is up for grabs, that your time is negotiable, that your value is defined by how much you can endure. But that's not strength. That's self-neglect, wearing a mask of niceness. True strength is in knowing where you end and the world begins. It's in drawing a line that says, this is what I allow, this is what I won't tolerate, this is how I treat myself, and I expect the same. Look around. Every thriving relationship, every healthy team, every visionary leader, you'll find boundaries at the core, because when people know your limits, they begin to respect your presence. But when you keep moving the line just to be liked, eventually you lose sight of where it even was. And worse, you begin to resent the very people you keep saying yes to. Let me say this loud: you do not have to explain your boundaries to everyone. You only have to uphold them. And yes, some people will be uncomfortable when you start honoring your worth. Let them. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Your peace is. And when you finally start living with boundaries, something incredible happens. You get your power back. You stop leaking energy into things that don't serve you. You stop being pulled into drama, distraction, or dysfunction. You become focused, clear, and calm. You become a person who protects their space because they know their space is sacred. So, if you've been waiting for a sign to stop overcommitting, over-explaining, and overextending, this is it. Set the boundary. Hold the line, choose your peace, and watch how the right people will rise to meet you there. Now let's talk about something deeply personal, the relationship you have with yourself. Because here's the truth, every relationship in your life is a reflection of the one you have within. If you don't respect yourself, you will attract people who don't respect you. If you don't honor your needs, you will tolerate people who neglect them. If you don't love yourself, you will settle for scraps and call it love. That's not just a quote on a wall, that's a reality lived by millions every day. And maybe you've lived it too. Maybe you've accepted less than you deserved because you were afraid that nothing better would come. Maybe you've held on to people who hurt you because you thought that was the price you had to pay for connection. But listen, you teach others how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. If you want better relationships, it starts with better self-talk. If you want to stop attracting chaos, stop creating it within. You can't heal in spaces that mirror your own self-abandonment. You heal by becoming whole within yourself, by treating yourself with the same kindness, patience, and compassion you give to others. So let me ask you, when was the last time you really saw yourself? Not just in the mirror, but in your essence, in your light, in your pain, in your journey. When was the last time you held your own heart with the same care you give to everyone else's? You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not too much. You are layered. You are not behind. You are aligned with a timing greater than your understanding. And yes, growth can feel lonely, but that loneliness is not a punishment. It's an invitation to reconnect with yourself, to remember your wholeness, to realize that your worth was never meant to be outsourced. It was always yours to honor. So take this moment right now, not tomorrow, not someday, to come home to yourself. Speak kindly to your inner child. Honor the version of you that has carried so much. Give yourself the grace you so easily give others. You are worthy of a love that starts within. And once you live from that place, you stop begging to be chosen, because you've already chosen yourself. That's where the shift begins. And from that shift, everything changes. Let's talk now about something most people avoid: the courage to evolve. Because here's the thing, growth is not glamorous, it's gritty, it's uncomfortable, it's lonely, it's losing people, places, habits, and versions of yourself you once thought you couldn't live without. It's breaking your own heart for the sake of alignment. It's waking up one day and realizing that the life you built no longer fits the person you're becoming. And that's okay. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to outgrow. You're allowed to shed skins that no longer feel like home. In fact, you must, because staying small just to keep things familiar will suffocate your soul. Playing roles you've outgrown will drain your spirit, and faking it to maintain the illusion of perfection will leave you empty. You were not born to remain static. You were born to unfold, to become, to deepen. And I know it's terrifying. I know there's grief in letting go of what once felt like everything. But evolution always costs something. It costs comfort. It costs approval. It costs being understood. But what you gain, what you gain is immeasurable. You gain peace. You gain purpose. You gain presence. You gain power. So stop waiting for the perfect time to change. There is no perfect time, there is only now, and right now is the doorway to your next level. But you must be brave enough to walk through it, even if you're trembling. No, not everyone will come with you. And that's not a sign you're wrong. It's a sign you're rising, because elevation requires separation. And not everyone is meant to meet the next version of you. Let them stay where they are. Let them misunderstand you. Let them call you selfish, distant, difficult. You are not here to be explainable. You are here to be free. Free to say yes to your calling. Free to say no to your old patterns. Free to become the person you've always been underneath the noise. So evolve, boldly, messily, truthfully, because your future is waiting on the other side of your courage. Let's talk about another truth that gets lost in the noise of expectations and pressure. You don't need permission to live fully. You don't need permission to say no. You don't need permission to stop explaining. You don't need permission to walk away, to choose peace over performance, to prioritize your well-being over pleasing others. And yet we wait. We wait for someone to validate our choices. We wait for someone to approve our voice. We wait for the world to tell us it's okay to take up space. But here's the truth, you are the permission slip. No one else is coming to rescue you from the life you've outgrown. No one else is responsible for your healing, your joy, your liberation. That's on you. And that's not a burden, it's a gift. Because it means you don't have to wait to be chosen. You can choose yourself. You don't have to wait for love. You can become love. You don't have to wait for the world to give you a seat at the table. You can build your own. Your power doesn't come from being accepted. It comes from being authentic. The more you live in alignment with your truth, the less you'll crave approval, and the more you'll attract what genuinely resonates with your soul. It's not about being hard, it's about being whole. So stop waiting for a green light from anyone who hasn't walked a mile in your shoes. They don't get to tell you how bright to shine. They don't get to edit your journey. They don't get to define what success, love, or joy should look like for you. That's your job. Own your power. Walk in your truth. Give yourself permission to take up space in the world. Not because someone said you could, but because you were born to it. Now let's talk about something foundational, something that will either make or break everything. You're working to build your belief system. What you believe about yourself, about your worth, about what you're capable of becomes the blueprint for how your life unfolds. If you believe that you're not enough, that belief will echo through your decisions, your relationships, your dreams, your silence. If you believe you don't have what it takes, you'll stop trying before you even start. You'll shrink. You'll play small. Not because you actually are, but because your beliefs convinced you that you are. But when you start to shift those beliefs, when you start to believe that you are valuable, that your voice matters, that your life is meant for more, everything starts to change. Let me be real with you. Your circumstances might be tough. Your past may have been painful. Your current situation might not reflect your potential, but none of that can override the truth of who you are unless you let it. You have the ability to rewire your mindset, to unlearn the lies, to rewrite the narrative, to speak life into yourself when no one else does. That's where power lives, not in the praise, but in the perspective. If you wake up every day and speak truth over your life, I am enough, I am capable, I am worthy of what I desire, you begin to believe it. And when belief takes root, action follows, confidence follows, boundaries follow, vision follows. So don't wait for life to show you proof before you believe. Start believing and life will start reflecting that belief back to you. Because what you believe shapes what you become. So here's the invitation. Know the call to you today. Choose to believe in your value. Not because everything in your life is perfect. Not because someone else finally recognized it, but because it's yours, inherent, undeniable, immutable. You don't need to be louder to be heard. You don't need to be busier to be worthy. You don't need to be anyone other than who you truly are to be enough. But you do need to stop living on autopilot. You do need to stop outsourcing your worth. You do need to stop showing up as a watered-down version of yourself just to be accepted by people who don't even know how to value gold when it's in front of them. This is the moment you stop waiting for permission. This is the moment you stop asking if you're allowed to shine. This is the moment you reclaim your identity. Not based on titles, not based on accomplishments, not based on appearances, but based on truth. And the truth is this: you are enough, you are whole, you are powerful, you are a force. Let the world adjust to that. Stand tall in it, speak from it, decide from it, live from it. Because when you finally stop doubting your value and start embodying it, your life transforms not in small ways but in monumental ones. Relationships shift, opportunities appear. Peace finds you, not because the world changed, but because you did. Your value is not a question, it's a statement. Live like it every single day. Thank you.